Hello, everybody, again. Pick up on in the Bible on Job 6. See how far we get today. Again, Job, example where God used the devil like he did in Eden. I mean, God created this perfect safe place in Eden. He wouldn't have created it with the devil there, so he wouldn't. The devil wouldn't have been able to get into there unless God allowed it. So he utilized him from the beginning. Set him loose upon the earth. Said, "Okay, you got free reign to go do what you want to do." Mankind has to make his free will choices. And usually it was Job, righteous man. God says, "See him, go kick his ass." Wiped out pretty much all of his family and his livelihood, and so on and so forth. God said, "Devil, kick his ass again." This is an example of how he can use the devil, like he's using him now in the world, allow him to exist in this world. He can take it all away, which he's going to. It's all going to happen as it's supposed to happen, as it's allowed to happen. So even more so reason why you need to be focused on God. Have him in your life. Job 6. Then Job replied, "If only my anguish could be weighed and all my misery be placed on the scales, it would surely outweigh the sand of the seas. No wonder my words have been impetuous." And you'll see that he's like this lowly and alone on the couch, hopeless despair. God can't condone. So he tested Job's faith, his self-righteousness. The point to say God beats you down or allows you to be beat down. He's testing your faith. You have these tests and these trials throughout life. So it makes it even more important. You have to stay on the path He created for you. I want what you want, Lord. One of my words have been impetuous. The arrows of the Almighty are in me. My spirit drinks in their poison. God's terrors are marshaled against me. Does a wild donkey bray when it has grass? Or an ox bellow when it has fodder? Is tasteless food eaten without salt? Or is there flavor in the sap of the mallow? Is tasteless food eaten without salt? No. Is there flavor in the sap of the mallow? Mallow being marshmallow, which comes from the sap originally. Is there flavor in the sap in the mallow? Yes. Yet I refuse to touch it. Such food makes me ill. So he's so distraught, he doesn't want to eat. Oh, that I might have my request, that God would grant what I hoped for once his life ended. That God would be willing to crush me, to let loose his hand and cut off my life. Then I will still have this consolation, my joy in unrelenting pain, that I have not denied the words of the Holy One. What strength do I have that I should still hope? Being hopeless. What prospects that I should be patient? Do I have the strength of stones, my flesh bronze? Do I have any power to help myself now that success has been driven from me? He's taken everything from him. Anyone who withholds kindness from a friend forsakes the fear of the Almighty. But my brothers are as undependable as intermittent streams, as the streams that overflow when darkened by thawing ice and swollen with melting snow, but that stop flowing in the dry season and the heat vanish from their channels. His brothers, his friends, are helping him. His perception is that. Caravans turn aside from the routes. They go off into the wasteland and perish. What you do when you go off course, God's path. Caravans of Tema look for water, and the traveling merchants of Sheba look and hope. They are distressed because they have been confident. They arrive there only to be disappointed. Again, he's feeling sorry for himself. There is hope. They only got to just be disappointed. You don't want to fall prey to. Now you too have proved to be of no help. You see something dreadful and are afraid. He's talking to his friends. Have I ever said, give something on my behalf? Pay a ransom for me from your wealth? Deliver me from the hand of the enemy, rescue me from the clutches of the ruthless. Have I ever said, have I ever asked for help? It's okay to ask for help. Teach me, and I will be quiet. Show me where I have been wrong. How painful are honest words, but what do your arguments prove? Do you mean to correct what I say and treat my desperate words as wind? You would even cast lots for the fatherless and barter away your friend? But now be so kind as to look at me. Would I lie to your face? Relent, do not be unjust. Reconsider, for my integrity is at stake. Is there any wickedness on my lips? Can my mouth not discern malice? Do mortals have hard service on earth? Are not their days like those of hired laborers? Like a slave longing for the evening shadows, or a hired laborer waiting to be paid? So I have been allotted months of futility, and nights of misery have been assigned to me. When I lie down, I think, how long before I get up? The night drags on, and I toss and turn until dawn. My body is clothed with worms and scabs, my skin is broken and festering, and hopeless despair, taken by step, breath by breath, day by day. Hopeless despair, struggling to get through life. We've all been through those times. My days are swifter, but never give up. Keep taking those steps, those breaths, getting through those days, those weeks, those months, asking for God's help, asking to understand why. And again, 9 times out of 10, the reason why is because of a free will choice we made some in the past, at some point. My days are swifter than the weaver's shuttle, and they can't come to an end without hope. Remember, O God, that my life is but a breath. My eyes will never see happiness again. The eye that now sees me will see me no longer. You will look for me, but I will be no more. As a cloud vanishes and is gone, so one who goes down to the grave does not return. He will never come to his house again. This place will know him no more. We all pass away from this world. Therefore, I will not keep silent. I will speak out in the anguish of my spirit. I'll complain in the bitterness of my soul. Am I the sea or the monster of the deep that you put me under guard? When I think my bed will comfort me, my couch will ease my complaint? Even then you fright me with dreams and terrify me with visions, so that I prefer strangling and death rather than this body of mine. I despise my life. I would not live forever. Let me alone. My days have no meaning. He just wants to give up. Again, we've all been there. We'll be there again. You have to have God in your life. What is mankind that you make so much of them, that you give them so much attention, that you examine them every morning and test them every moment? Speaking to God. Will you never look away from me or let me alone even for an instant? If I have sinned, what have I done to you, you who sees everything we do? Why have you made me your target? Have I become a burden to you? Why do you not pardon my offenses and forgive my sins? For I will soon lie down in the dust. You will search for me, but I will be no more. You can't disappear from God. You leave here when you're supposed to leave here. He's asking God, why just leave me alone? Why? Why is this? Why are you doing this to me? And we've asked that. And the first of his friends, supposed friends, speaks to him. Then Bildad the Shuhite replied, how long will you say such things? Your words are blustering wind. Does God pervert justice? Does the Almighty pervert what is right? When your children sinned against him, he gave them over to the penalty of their sin. If you will seek God earnestly and plead with the Almighty, if you are pure and upright, even now he will rouse himself on your behalf and restore you to your prosperous state. Your beginnings will seem humble, so prosperous will your future be. Ask the former generation to find out what their ancestors learned. For we were born only yesterday, and I know nothing, and our days on earth are but a shadow. Will they not instruct you and tell you? Will they not bring forth words from their understanding? Can papyrus grow tall where there is no marsh? Can reeds thrive without water? While still growing and uncut, they wither more quickly than grass. Such is the destiny of all who forget God. So perishes the hope of the godless. What they trust in is fragile. What they rely on is a spider's web. They lean on the web, but it gives way. They cling to it, but it does not hold. They are like a well-watered plant in the sunshine, spreading its roots over the garden. It entwines its roots around a pile of rocks and looks for a place among the stones. But when it is torn from its spot, that place disowns it and says, I never saw you. Surely its life withers away, and from the soil other plants grow. It doesn't have that support that God gives you. If I go without God. Surely God does not reject one who is blameless, or strengthen the hands of the evildoers. You will yet fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with shouts of joy. Your enemies will be clothed in shame. The tents of the wicked will be no more. Job replied, "Indeed, I know that this is true. But how can mere mortals prove their innocence before God? Though they wished to dispute with him, they could not answer him one time out of 1,000. His wisdom is profound, his power is vast. Who has resisted him and come out unscathed? He moves mountains without their knowing it and overturns them in his anger. He shakes the earth from its place and makes its pillars tremble. He speaks to the sun and it does not shine, seals off the light of the stars. He alone stretches out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea. He is the maker of the Bear and Orion, the Pleiades, and the constellations of the south. He performs wonders that cannot be fathomed, miracles that cannot be counted. When he passes me, I cannot see him. When he goes by, I cannot perceive him. You should. If he snatches away, who can stop him? Who can say to him, "What are you doing?" God does not restrain his anger. Even the cohorts of Rahab cowered at his feet. How then can I dispute with him? How can I find words to argue with him? You're entitled to do that. You have a right to do that. To question God, ask. Ask for understanding. Don't blame him for something. He has a reason for everything. Again, 9 times out of 10 is a result of a free will choice decision we made. Ask for understanding. You may get it right away, you may get it years later, because you're not ready at that moment to understand it. He's not going to explain to you advanced physics if you're only at a basic general science level. What's the point? Though I were innocent, I could not answer him. I could only plead with my judge for mercy. Even if I summoned him and he responded, I do not believe he would give me a hearing. He always hears everything. He would crush me with a storm, multiply my wounds for no reason. He would not let me catch my breath, but would overwhelm me with misery. If it is a matter of strength, he is mighty. And if it is a matter of justice, who can challenge him? Even if I were innocent, my mouth would condemn me. If I were blameless, it would pronounce me guilty. Although I am blameless, I have no so I say, what's the point? So don't try. God wants, sometimes he does things because he wants you to talk to him. He wants you to question him. There's many reasons. Ask for the reason for it, why he's doing something to you. It may be darkness too. Although I am blameless, I have no concern for myself. I despise my own life. It is all the same. This is why I say he destroys both the blameless and the wicked. When a scourge brings sudden death, he mocks the despair of the innocent. When the land falls into the hands of the wicked, he blindfolds its judges. It is not he. If it is not he, then who is it? So many people turn from us. They're told God is this, and he's only a loving God that does wonderful things. He exacts discipline too. He exacts vengeance because that's his. The devil is out there doing things too. Lots of things, again, your free will choices, you stumble on, which cause yourself to fall. Don't blame him. If it's not he, then who is it? Good question. Look in the mirror. My days are swifter than a runner. They fly away without a glimpse of joy. They skim past like boats of papyrus, like eagles swooping down on their prey. If I say I will forget my complaint, I will change my expression and smile, I still dread all my sufferings, for I know you will not hold me innocent. Giving up. Since I am already found guilty, why should I struggle in vain? I'm already a sinner, so why should I continue to fight to not be a sinner? Stay in here, Luna. Little one. Why should I struggle in vain? Even if I washed myself with soap and my hands with cleansing powder, you would plunge me into a slime pit so that even my clothes would detest me. He's just giving up. He's not seeing the point. That's when we get down lowly. We have to call, ask, complaining, ask him to help lift you up. Ask him to help understand. He's not a mere mortal like me that I might answer him, that we might confront each other in court. If only there was someone to mediate between us, someone to bring us together. Someone to remove God's rod from me so that his terror would frighten me no more. Then I would speak up without fear of him. But as it now stands, with me, I cannot. You don't need a mediator. When Jesus passed away, The veil of the temple, Holy of Holies, was torn asunder. God removed the middleman. You do not need a mediator. You do not need a middleman. Talk to God face to face, being to being, because you're connected to Him. I loathe my very life. Therefore, I will give free rein to my complaint and speak out the bitterness of my soul. I'm miserable and I'm lonely, so I'm just going to go ahead and say what I want to say and feel what I want to feel. Be miserable. I say to God, do not declare me guilty, but tell me what charges you have against me. Now he's speaking more better statement there. Tell me what I've done wrong. I understand. Does it please you to oppress me, to spurn the work of your hands while you smile on the plans of the wicked? Do you have eyes of flesh? Do you see as a mortal sees? No. He sees as God sees, perfectly. Are your days like those of a mortal, or your years like those of a strong man, that you must search out my faults and probe after my sin? You don't have to search out anything. You already knows it beforehand. Though you know that I am not guilty and that no one can rescue me from your hand? Your hand shaped me and made me. Will you now turn and destroy me? He has that right. He's the potter. You're the clay. Remember that you molded me like clay. Will you now turn me to dust again? That's his right. Did you not pour me out like milk and curdle me like cheese? Clothe me with skin and flesh and knit me together with bones and sinews? You gave me life and showed me kindness, and in your providence watched over my spirit? Yes. As creator, he has the right to uncreate or recreate. This is what you concealed in your heart, and I know that this was in your mind. If I sinned, you would be watching me, and would not let my offense go unpunished. If I am guilty, woe to me. Even if I am innocent, I cannot lift my head, for I am full of shame and drowned in my affliction. If I hold my head high, you stalk me like a lion and again display your awesome power against me. You bring new witnesses against me, increase your anger toward me. Your forces come against me wave upon wave. Why then did you bring me out of the womb? Why didn't you create me? Why me have born if you're just going to do this? From the time he came out of the womb, creating the womb to this point where he's at, he had free reign to do what he wanted to do. Why didn't he bring me out of the womb? Why should I have died before any eyes saw me? If only I'd never come into being, or had been carried straight from the womb to the grave. Anybody who suffers in depression and gone through difficult times has felt this way. Ask these things. If only I'd never come into being, or had been carried straight from the womb to the grave. Are not my few days almost over? Turn away from me so I can have a moment's joy before I go to the place of no return, the land of gloom and utter darkness. Even God, righteousness, God's glory. But he thinks he's going to go to a grave in utter darkness, eternal. He doesn't believe in the resurrection, which is before that time. The land of deepest night, of utter darkness and disorder, where even light is like darkness. He didn't know about heaven and the resurrection, salvation. That goes to Numbers chapter 11, so we did 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, quite a bit. And we'll pick up on number 11, where another friend of his, or acquaintance of his, speaks. So, some understanding, we can relate to Job. Everybody can relate to Job. Should be able to. So read Job on your own. Ask for discernment when you read it, like everything else. Well, the Lord, peace of Christ, God bless. I hope that had some understanding of Job for you. We'll pick up on 11. Excuse me, on the next posting. So, in the meantime, stay safe. I don't know when it'll be next time. Probably be next month. I'll be going to Hawaii here shortly. A couple more days. So, until I get back, everybody stay safe, stay cool. God bless. Peace of Christ.